Hello everyone, this is Benny here, and welcome back to another bullet journal video. Today I'll be setting up my journal for May 2021, but first I thought I'd flip through April and let you see how it turned out. I really enjoyed all the blues and the new things that I tried out in this setup, and I've decided to carry over a few elements from it as well. For May, we'll be starting off with a cover page. I thought about having a quote page, but couldn't find any inspiration or motivation for it, so we'll have to go without for now. Maybe I'll add one later on, but not in this video. This month's theme is berries, and the only color I used throughout the whole setup is this Tombow dual brush pen in the color 757. I went ahead and sketched this all out ahead of time, so the video wouldn't end up being an hour long. It was surprisingly hard to make the berries seem random rather than planned out, but I think I did alright for a first attempt. Although this particular arrangement makes me think about a grapevine. I decided to make the May title part of the vine, just to do something a little different from usual. After outlining it, I decided to fill in and thicken the main stem or vine, whatever you want to call it. I decided to turn the title of May into faux calligraphy to help it blend in a bit better with the thickness of the vine, and I think it worked out pretty well. Then all I had left to do was add a few little leaves along the vine. After that, it was time to color in the berries with the Tombow dual brush pen in the color 757. I made sure not to color over the same part more than once so that it was the lightest that the color could possibly be. In a minute, you'll see me layer the color a few times to add some depth to the illustration. Berries set farther back and behind other berries were colored darker. I also decided to add some little dots and spots to the drawing without lining them, just to give the drawing a bit more character and fill in some gaps I thought were a bit too large. Next, I went ahead and added some more details to the berries with my Sharpie pen that I used for the line work. I zoomed in on the footage so you could have a closer look and see what I'm referring to. It's subtle, but makes a huge difference in the overall piece. The only thing left to do is add some highlights and the illustration is complete. after adding the page number at the bottom, it's time to move on. On the next page, we have my calendar spread. I decided to try something I've never done before by only drawing the horizontal lines rather than making boxes for the days. This gives it a much more open and minimal feeling, but I can't help but wonder if it's going to drive me nuts not having a box around the things I'm writing. Since the spread is mostly about function, I only added a small bunch of berries in the bottom corner and made the berries themselves more spaced out to help with that open minimalist vibe. Once I finished the berries, I wrote the days of the week across the top, as well as adding a to-do title in the empty column on the right side. I also filled in all the days of the month before I went ahead and filled out the to-do list with things such as possibly setting up a Facebook page for my art, taxes, and visiting my dad who lives in another city. I also decided last minute to use some of the blank space at the bottom of the page to create some social media trackers, where I can keep track of how much my accounts grow over the month. I also went ahead and filled in the calendar as well with some holidays, as well as when my college term ends and my graduation day. The next spread I'll be creating is my college homework tracker. It's the simplest spread in all my setups, but it's super useful and helps me stay on track with all the different assignment deadlines and whatnot. Since the tracker is fairly simple and I don't expect to need the entire second page, I went ahead and added another berry illustration to the bottom right corner of the page. I also included another close-up on the process of adding the white shiny bits because I personally find it to be quite satisfying. I also went ahead and filled in all the homework I already have assigned that is due in the month of May, so you guys can see how I use it. I also use this tracker when I have special dates or events relating to school where my attendance is graded for a class. For example, my editing and publishing class is getting a tour of the publishing company that is currently printing the book we put together throughout the semester, so I included that. Next up are my video progress tracker as well as a brand new spread I've never used before to help me keep track of where I've posted or scheduled my art to be posted and where I still need to do so. I also decided to add a small section for video ideas underneath the progress tracker. I went ahead and added some berries on the left page since it was such a simple and empty spread. For the social media tracker, I have a large column for the title of my artwork, followed by a bunch of smaller columns where I'll put a check mark when I've posted or scheduled the art to be posted on that site. The sites I have accounts on from left to right are Instagram, Twitter, DeviantArt, Fur Affinity, Artful, Facebook, and YouTube. The YouTube column is more or less just so I can remember which ones I turned into a speed paint and uploaded. Again, I went ahead and filled out the trackers a bit so you can see examples of how I use each one. I've explained the video progress tracker in previous videos, but if anyone would like a specific video dedicated to it, feel free to let me know and I'll see what I can do for you. That applies to any other requests you may have as well. Next up are my habits and gratitude trackers. I enjoyed having the 2 horizontal trackers on a double spread last month, so I decided to do it again. However, I replaced the mood tracker with my gratitude log since I already track my daily mood in one of my yearly spreads. Since my habits tracker will be full of this lovely Tombow color at the end of the month, I decided to leave the berries colorless to avoid making the page too busy. I actually loved how they looked without color, so I went ahead and included a close-up for you guys. After that, I added the days along the top of the tracker and the habits along the left side. The habits are the exact same ones I tracked in April. They include cooking, cleaning, taking my vitamins, exercise, no junk food, taking Levi outside, drawing, schoolwork, and working on content for social media. I didn't add anything in the gratitude tracker because I figured I could just add things I'm grateful for at random throughout the month rather than having to sit down and force myself to come up with something every single day. This way I can also write more for a single day if a lot of good things happened, and I can also skip days if I don't want to fill the tracker that day. The final spread in this video is my first weekly spread of May. I decided to bring the minimalist vibe from the calendar spread back into my weekly spread by only drawing the top line of my days rather than boxing them in like I usually would. For the berry illustration on this page, I decided to skip the lining process and go straight in with the Tombow dual brush pen. Then I added the stems, and that's it. No detailing or highlights. I thought making it a bit more messy and abstract would be an interesting way to change it up from the other spreads, and make it a lot quicker and easier to repeat for the following weeks. After that, I went ahead and added the weekdays across the top of the days, as well as writing week 18 down the side among the berries. With that, my first weekly spread is complete and ready to use. Well, that's all I have from my May 2021 bullet journal setup. It was a lot of fun and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along. I'm hoping I'll have a more consistent uploading schedule now that the busy part of my semester is over and I'll be graduating soon. Either way, I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!